Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. You guys should know that by now. But whatever. I'll still introduce ourselves. Allow myself to introduce myself. All right. Still
What
October.
an asshole.
I know. I'm sorry. Still October. Still horror movie month. We are doing Hellraiser, the first movie in the franchise, and
Yes.
I am excited to do this movie. Before we get into the IMDb stuff and the descriptions and all that wonderful stuff, do we have an advertiser this week?
We do.
All
Yet
right.
another new advertiser this week on Kiss the Reviews. It's AJ's Animal Crackers. G'day. Do you find animal crackers and bad/borderline offensive Australian accents good foreplay? Well, you're in luck, mate. IJ's Animal Crackers are the perfect mix of a snack and sensuality. So the next time you find yourself a bit randy and hungry, stop off and grab yourself a box of AJ Frost's Animal Crackers. Warning! AJ Frost's Animal Crackers do not prevent pregnancy or STDs. If you insert an AJ Frost Animal Cracker in any orifice, contact a medical professional immediately. AJ Frost's Animal Crackers. We're out of this world.
I love new advertisers. You love new advertisers, so I'm glad the show's taken off. And
Keep them coming.
Yeah.
These one-offs, though, I got to be honest with you, they're getting a little tired. We need a weekly sponsor.
yeah, we do. We need.
I'm talking to you, Disney.
Well, I'm sure Disney will hop in because they were responsible for the gate, apparently.
Oh, yeah, but I'm sure they're going to love us. We're going to have a visit from the mouse and a shank. Any day now.
Love you guys, huh?
Now watch me stab your fucking eyes out.
So we are doing Hellraiser this week.
IMDb description. One sentence, allegedly, of Hellraiser is an unfaithful wife encounters the zombie of her dead lover. The demonic Cenobites are pursuing him after he escaped their sadomasochistic underworld. Which is just a very long-winded, multi-syllable way to say hell.
Yes.
The semicolon, to be fair,
Do we need to dive into this?
I have to, okay? Because it's going to bug me all night, and this is how people end up going on nutty sprees. So I have to get this off my chest. The semicolon, to be fair, about 0% of the world knows how to use a semicolon properly. Myself included. Nobody does. It's just a part of grammar.
I
It's
guess.
So, that's one thing. But to be fair, an unfaithful wife encounters the zombie of her dead lovers, semicolon, the demonic Cenobites are pursuing him after blah, blah, blah. Huh? Those are two. You're just introducing words that don't fit what you previously were saying. So, that's my beef. I'm done. Move on. Thank you very much for indulging the YouTubers.
After your grammatical lesson there, let's get into the.
Spalding is gone. Corey's back.
Let's get into the movie. So, Frank and Larry are brothers. Julia's Larry's wife. She apparently, it doesn't get revealed until, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the movie that she had an affair with Frank.
An affair / pseudo raped. I'll say it.
Yeah. It was whatever it was super creepy.
Yeah, because she is shaking, and you're made to believe it's out of fear because he's literally just grabbing her.
Yeah.
And she is at first is saying, "No, what about Larry?" Because apparently they just dumped a Brit in L.A.
Sure.
I mean, I get it. There are Brits in L.A., but it didn't fit really.
Yeah. So
unnecessary. But anyway, so he switchblades her nightgown off.
Yeah.
But she can't stop thinking about this torrid rape / affair that only happened one time.
Yes, according to the movie, it happened one time.
Yes.
Now, Frank, at the beginning, we'll rewind a little bit. Frank buys this box. that apparently unleashes Pinhead and all his cohorts. The
This is at the very beginning.
Yes, the
And
cinnamon
this
bites.
is literally the intro, correct? The cinnamon twist sisters.
The cinnamon bites. But he buys
But this goes to what your original point was, real fast, which was he has the box. They barely introduce it, which I'm sure you're going to go into here in a minute.
Yeah.
And but they introduce Pinhead so early and so briefly that when his big reveal is made at the end of the movie, it's very underwhelming. My dogs are assholes, by the way.
That's cool.
They got FOMO like a mother, man.
But so Frank buys this box again, which they don't get into like what the box is. He starts touching it, it starts moving, and all the cinnamon twists come and whatever.
Yes.
But he buys the box apparently from the guy that sold the Mogwais in Gremlin. And it's literally the same setup as Gremlins. Like except he doesn't go underground into this like little shop. They don't explain, cuz like here in that scene, that's where you would explain, like, are you sure you want to buy this thing? This is what this does. It can unleash a fucking whatever.
Right.
That's where you have the exposition about like the box.
Yes.
And you just don't have it. And then the next scene is him, in candles in the house that him and his brother own, that apparently he's just like squatting in, that's been abandoned forever. And then that's when you get the reveal early on of the Cenobites. And I can't say it without saying cinnamon bites.
Just say cinnamon twist. It's fine.
But so that happens. He dies, goes into this realm. And then next scene is Larry and Julia moving into this house, which is a piece of shit. Like, there's all kinds of issues with this house.
Yeah.
And the movers are like the biggest assholes on the planet.
The movers are openly checking out the dude's daughter.
And the wife.
They're checking out Larry's daughter, Christy, and the wife.
So they apparently like to sexually...
The wife might get you somewhere.
Exactly. They sexually harass the owner of the house, Larry. They sexually harass his wife. And then they say, and I actually took this as a note, is that your daughter? She's got her mother's looks. And Larry replies, her mother's dead. Which, that whole interaction with the movers was fantastic. I actually really loved it. I found that hilarious.
That's about as much exposition as this movie gave.
Exactly.
That's the only setup we get.
Yeah, so we find out super early that Julia had this affair / rape, maybe, with Frank, Larry's brother, who the two look nothing alike. So we'll
Oh. It's like if you compared me to Ving Rhames, and then you were like, "Oh, those two are clearly brothers, right?"
So she still is like hung up on this on Frank, and then they cut to the scene where the movers are helping Larry get this bed up the stairs, and it's like, oh, he's getting close to the nail. His hand's getting close to that nail. He's gonna get tetanus. And apparently, the way the scene is shot, Julia psychically scratches Larry's hand on the nail. Just the way it's framed, it seems like she's thinking it, and it happened. So
yes,
he has the worst cut from a nail of all time. This thing is bleeding like a stuck pig.
He looks like little Steven Dorff after he stabbed himself in the eye hand.
So
in the gate.
He goes running upstairs because, what I do when I get cut or hurt, I immediately go screaming for my wife. Larry's just kind of a pussy in this whole movie. Except for one scene, he's just kind of a pussy throughout.
Yeah, I don't think they know how to make what to make of Larry.
No, like I don't think the writers knew. I don't think anybody really knew because he seems like an abused husband. Like this like puppy dog. He gets cut. He's bleeding like a stuck pig, and he's just Julia, Julia, and he goes into the room where apparently Frank's soul is. I don't know.
Yeah,
Bleeds on
somewhere
the
in the attic.
bleeds on the floor, and the floor sucks it up, and then Frank becomes this bloody zombie mess of a person thing.
Yes.
The rest of the movie is basically Julia has to seduce men to bring them so that she can. I don't understand why she has to kill them. Like, Frank can technically kill them.
Frank does kill one of them.
Yeah.
At least one of them himself.
But, and she, it's not a very effective way. She, like, gets a hammer and bludgeons these guys to death so that Frank can, like, suck their skin off.
And that's the one question, well, not the one, but one of the questions I had in this whole setup was he's sucking the skin off, and Julia has to remove their bodies from the premises. My question is, wouldn't that be like eating the skin off the chicken and leaving the rest of the meat on the bone?
Yes.
Like, there's a lot of good stuff there that he should be eating.
Yeah,
there's a hungry zombie somewhere in Africa that would kill for that body meat,
dude.
And Frank's just wasting it like a spoiled.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing. Like, wouldn't he eat the whole thing? But whatever. Maybe he got full, and raw meat spoils quickly. But the best thing is that, like, she lures these guys to the house with the, we're gonna have sex, and I'm gonna take care of you, baby. And then she proceeds to take them to the one shitty, unfinished, rat-infested room of the house.
Yes,
rest of the house looks fine.
Yep.
This room, like. Sure.
Not to mention, is it just a shitty room overall?
Yeah.
But there is a skinless, muscle and pussy oozing humanoid zombie thing chilling in the corner, jerking off while Julia's seducing these guys. It has to smell.
But dude, that's
pure garbage.
My first point, because there are rats in there, and
yeah.
So you got to.
It should smell like a vomit took a dump.
It literally should. And my thing is, I like to put myself in the character's role from time to time in these movies.
Not in this case.
But
you just smear ketchup and strawberry jelly all over your body and go, "Don't look at me."
In the guys that she seduces, like, they're looking around like, "Sure, lady. Want to fuck where the rats are over there, or where this pile of slimy shit is, or where the bloody guy is in the corner?" Like,
oh yeah, once they are promised sex, they're basically a dog on a leash.
Exactly.
For Julia, who on her best day is the coldest human being on Earth.
Yes.
She exudes zero warmth. Zero.
Fair.
She is ice cold this entire movie.
Yeah.
And some drunk traveling salesman's like, why not? Let's go to your house in the attic in the vomit dump room and just buy one out.
He was just trying to sell some mogwais in the bar, and now he got promised a handy, and we're good to go.
That's right. He's just a rep for fucking AJ's Animal Crackers.
Yes.
He's not doing anything wrong.
So the whole movie is basically her luring these guys in, because Frank says, after the first one, I only need like one or two more and I'll be whole again. Well, she gets him like 3. And he's still...
And again, he's not eating the meat. He's just taking the skin.
Exactly. He's like still Jelly Man. And
yes.
Frank's or Julia's stepdaughter, Kirsty, spies on her because, of course, Larry, being the pussy that he is, won't confront Julia about anything. So he goes to his daughter like, I don't know what's going on, and she's being so distant, and can you check up on, maybe she just needs somebody to talk to. Like, I don't know, her fucking husband, but
Yeah, that's a good start.
whatever, just me. So Kirsty thinks that she's cheating on her dad because she sees,
Technically.
yeah, and she follows him in, and then the creepiest scene ever is Frank confronting Christy because Christy sees the jelly man.
Yes.
And what does he say? I'm trying to go through my notes here.
Does he say, "Come to daddy, you're so beautiful now.
come
You've grown into a lovely woman.
Come to daddy."
Yeah. And it's in the just come to daddy.
Yeah, like he changes his whole like demeanor and voice, and he's just like, "Hey, I'm Frank. It's Frankie," and then he's like, "Come to daddy," and it's weird.
So bad.
She gets the box, doesn't know what it is, throws it out the window, and then runs outside, grabs the box, gets away from Frank and her stepmom. And then the next scene is her waking up in a psych ward?
Correct, because she was just wandering the streets. But you skipped over one of the, I think, odder parts for me. Not odder parts, but odder parts was Larry and Julia have moved into the house officially where Julia's killing people.
Yes.
And they have this dinner party.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Which is, I don't know if this was like a random, like, classified ad in the newspaper, because this was made, what, 87?
87.
So they didn't have, like, Craigslist back then. But this is the most hodgepodge group of fucking people that have ever gathered for a dinner party.
It's a bunch of randos.
Yeah, and it really is. And you'd think, like, oh, no, that just means they're diversified and they're liberal and blah, blah. No, everybody there is white as shit.
And there's no exposition. There's no description of.
And at this dinner party, Christy is getting shit faced because she's had 2 glasses of wine, who is Larry's daughter, and a love interest of hers, a guy that she's making eyes with from across the table at her father's dinner party in her father's house, pours her another one, and she says, "No, I won't be able to stand." And he looks at her with that kind of Ted Bundy, Uncle Frankish kind of look and says, "I don't mind if you lay down." And the dad makes a face. The dad of this daughter is sitting at the table and makes a face like, "Well, shit, that was a pretty good line, son. Nice job. I'm pretty impressed with you. That was pretty nice.
I should try that line out on my wife."
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah.
Dude, he should have had a shotgun up his butthole and escorted out of the house at least. At least. Because this guy is essentially getting his daughter drunk right in front of him and is basically saying, like, "Oh, I don't mind if you lay down because I'm going to get that ass."
I'm gonna give you that dick.
No, dude.
Well,
no. But he becomes the love interest through this movie.
Yeah.
And I will say, and I'll let you totally get back to it, but this is my last point. The one thing I love more than anything about this movie is it is one of the first horror movies I remember where it breaks the virgin trope or cliche in horror movies. Because Kirsty sleeps with this dude ASAP.
Yeah.
Like as fast as humanly possible.
Yes.
Which, it's yours. I don't give a shit. But normally in the horror movie, that girl dies ASAP.
Yep.
Spoiler alert, Kirsty doesn't.
No.
Anyway.
What does happen is she gets captured by the psych ward. I'm just picturing like the big net, and they
they use like a cartoon.
But she wakes up in this psych ward, doesn't know what's going on. All she knows, she wants to call her dad. And they're like, "Yeah, sure, we'll let you call your dad." She opens the box, in her room in the psych ward, because when you get admitted or you get caught and put in a psych ward, they let you keep shit like that. So because he puts the box on the little tray, and he was like, just in case it jogs your memory on what happened.
Right.
Okay, sure, that's fine.
Yep.
She opens it. She gets down the hall, gets sucked into the Cenobites world.
Now, this effect, I will say, this is when, to me, the movie gets really good.
Yes, absolutely.
Because, as you said, the Cenobites get reintroduced, and for a longer capacity or for a longer time. But also, the effect that occurs in the hospital, where the tiles start to go dark, and all the grout, or the lining starts to glow a little bit. Dude, that scene, and it steams. That scene's dope. For 1987 effects, that was a really kind of like bone chilling ish scene.
I do like that scene. She goes, she sees the demons, the Cenobites, and convinces them to let her go because she knows that they had Frank, and he is now out.
Yep.
But apparently they're really shitty at keeping all those people that they have there under lock and key. They don't even know he's gone. So they allow her to get out and go get Frank and give Frank to them.
Yep.
She gets home and Julia lets her in. She doesn't know, but Frank has eaten Larry now.
Yes, he's wearing a skin suit.
And
this confused me a lot because I'm like, why is Dad all of a sudden like all into incest? Well, and the reason I asked that question was because Frank, while he's Jelly Man, says, couple more bodies, Julia, and it'll be back to good old Frank.
Yeah.
Well, no, because apparently the last guy you eat is who you are turning into.
Exactly.
You just wear their skin suits.
And Kirsty doesn't see the jelly outline of of her dad's skin, but she finally realizes that it is Frank. Whatever.
Because he says, "Come to Daddy."
Again, there's a
that
call.
Was the giveaway.
There's the callback. So
foreshadowing.
Yeah, he says, "Come to Daddy" in the creepy way. She's like, "Holy shit, that's not my dad. My dad's probably dead."
Then Julia grabs her and is like, "We're gonna three-way."
Yeah.
And
Frank kills her.
Frank accidentally kills her.
And then, and just is like, oh shit, my bad.
But at first, we did skip over one little part where the Cenobites appear, the Cinnamon Twist sisters appear in the attic.
Yes.
When Kirsty still thinks Frank is her dad.
Yes.
Because Frank's wearing the skin suit.
Yes.
So she tells the Cenobites, like, that's Frank. Oops-a-daisy. And they're like, bring us the guy who did this shit. Because they know it's only a dude from hell that can be sucking skin suits off people. And Kirsty's like, no, because she thinks her dad just burned up Uncle Frank Jellyman.
Yep.
Holy shit. So she's running away into the arms of her dad, who's really just Uncle Frank in a skin suit, while the Cenobites are clearly lurking in the house.
Yes.
And ready to throw down. So Kirsty is kind of fucked.
Yes. So, but they finally get Frank in the attic room. I have one question. Because Frank knows he's fucked as soon as he gets in there. Like, what did you do? Kind of thing. What kind of therapy is Kirsty going to need after not only knowing that Frank ate her dad and wore his skin, but after she sees Frank torn to shreds by hooks and chains?
By demons.
By demons.
Demons from hell.
And then...
in case you didn't know, that's where demons were from.
I don't understand how... Because she knows how to get the box open. You basically all you have to do is touch it.
Yeah, you circle, up, down, left, right, left, right.
A, B, select, start. So I don't understand how she figures out in all this chaos how to close it. Like
Not
that.
only close it, but she starts using it as a weapon. She starts pointing it at people like it's a fork and gun because she just knew it had the power to Atari zap you back to hell.
But so that, and then like I wrote the note that I wrote is, how does she figure out how to close the box? Luck? Like she's just touching shit and like, ooh, when I move it in a circle, it seems to do stuff.
She got that magic finger, son.
And again, like you said, this whole ending, the scenes at the very end of this movie, the last, 15, 20 minutes of this movie, are fantastic.
Yes.
Except for, I could have done without the crab fight at the end. Like,
yes. That weird, see, and again, this is how you know that the producers, the writers, whoever, didn't know what they had in Pinhead.
Yes.
Because the big bad of the movie wasn't even Pinhead. It was the crab scorpion blob of whatever.
Yeah.
With sharp teeth chasing Kirsty.
Yes.
That was the least scary thing.
Yep.
Outside of the fat cinnamon twist sister with the sunglasses on, that thing always just made me piss my pants.
My favorite one was the chattery teeth guy.
Oh, see, I like the chick with like the wires coming out.
Yeah.
And throat torn open.
Well,
she was scared as shit.
You're into that kind of thing, so.
I'm into open throats.
But yeah, so I mean I still like this movie a lot. Love is a strong word. I love the franchise. This movie, I liked it, but moving into the other part 2, 3, whatever, I loved those, and I love the whole franchise. Yes.
Part 2 was definitely, in my opinion, the better of the series. That's one of the examples of a sequel outperforming, because they made Pinhead more of a focal point. Yeah. They let Julia be a cold psycho ice bitch in hell. And again, this one, like you said, they didn't know what they had. I think a lot of exposition and a lot of good, dark Pinhead, hellish type scenes were left on the editing room floor.
Yeah.
Which happens. You know, it is what it is. But to me, it just seems like there was a lot. I'll put it like this. Of all the horror movies they're remaking, Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, of all those horror movies that they remade, this is the one that they should have done. Because they could have tightened it up a little bit in some plot points, made Pinhead the focal point, knowing already what you got in that character, and really hammering home the devastation he could. Frank being the main character, which he really was. He wasn't a protagonist, but he was the main character. He wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
He was lame.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, this dude was supposed to be a great lover who his first move was to suck on the woman's chin. He didn't even kiss him. Have you ever tried sucking on a woman's chin? It's fucking weird, and you might get hit.
Back then, you couldn't send dick pics, so that's the go-to move, apparently.
So you chin suck?
I don't know. I wasn't.
Dude. I don't know. I was very unimpressed with Frank as a character and as a lover. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. IMDb gave this or the rating out of 10 was a 7. I thought that was fair.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most accurate ones we've seen.
Yeah,
because it's good. It is a little bit dated just from the gore standpoint.
Yeah.
If you keep in mind that it's 1987, what they were doing at that time, it's phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal. Compared to now, you're just like, okay. It's dated in that way, in the VX technology.
Yeah.
That said, it's a good horror movie, but by and large, you can fast forward to about the 45-minute mark.
That's fair.
And you'll get pretty much the same movie.
Yeah.
You'll get a good, horror movie short, and you can move on with your life.
Yeah, watch the first 10 minutes because all of the plot is revealed in the first 10 minutes, and then watch like the last 45, you're good to go. You can cut about a half an hour out of this movie.
Yes.
So,
100%.
But yeah, I love it. I still think it stands up. I still enjoyed watching it. I didn't think that I would, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, my thoughts.
Agree. Yeah,
any final thoughts?
Well, I mean, if you want a good story, read the book. If you want to watch a good horror movie, watch the movie. It's about as good as I can make it.
There you go. Well, thanks. For Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews. Like, subscribe, comment if you want us to review any other movies. Yeah, what Corey just did down there. Hit the bell, do all that crazy stuff. Thanks for coming in. This was Hellraiser, and we will see you on the next episode. We don't know what we're doing yet, but I'm sure it'll be a good one. We'll see you guys later.